Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Babes Who Manifest podcast. I am your host, 𝗦𝗢𝗖𝗓, aka the Gratitude Chick. Don't forget to follow me on all of my social media platforms at the Gratitude Chick. On Twitter, Gratitude_Chick, and on TikTok, Babes Who Manifest. Also, starting in November, I am setting up one-to-one coaching to help you plan out your future reality using both the law of assumption and the power of your subconscious mind. Both of these plans together starts at $50. Send me an email at thegratitudechick20@gmail.com. Let's start today. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Babes Who Manifest podcast. So, in today's episode, we are going to be talking about pretty much living in the end and what it means to detach from the outcome of what it is that we want. We hear all the time the gurus, and I'm using air quotes, tell you that you have to detach, you have to let it go. And for many years, I didn't know what that meant. What does it mean for me to let it go? What does it mean for me to detach when I am so attached to the outcome, right? How do I not think about it? How do I not want to know what's happening in the background? Like, for me, I'm a very controlling person, and I need to know step by step. So how do I not know the steps to what it is that I want? And it also goes back to the 4-step process that I talked about, that I recorded. Now, I'm recording a lot in advance, so I don't even know what day this episode is going to drop or the episode I'm referencing. But it's day 11 of the 21 days of thankfulness, and it's the 4-step process of ask, believing, being grateful, and then receiving, So it's kind of that process of the receiving part is, it's not about us. It's kind of not our business, really. So it is really along those lines when we say let it go and, detach from it. But what does it actually mean, especially if you're new and people just say this? When I say new, when you're new to manifesting, and people just tell you, you have to let it go and you have to detach from it. What exactly does that mean? Well, to me, it means that when you detach from the desire or what you've asked for, it doesn't mean that you don't want what you're asking for anymore. It literally means that you are detaching from the need to have it. Because when you are attached to the need, for instance, when you're trying to manifest some money and you're manifesting it out of a need that you wanted, out of a need where you actually need it for, rent or something like that, then you are very attached to the outcome. So when people tell you to detach and to let it go, it is you're letting go of the need for it, because the need for it comes from a place of lack, right? So when you detach from the outcome, you're saying that you're not in control of what happens. You are not in a place where you need it. And it's not coming from a place of lack. And even if it's not about money, noticing the lack of something does not bring it to you. So when I say detach from it or not having it come from a place of lack. It really just means not necessarily the lack of money, but the lack of you not having whatever it is that you're asking for. It could be the lack of the person that you want. Lack of the clothes that you're asking for, lack of the shoes, lack of more love, lack of more kindness, whatever it is that you're asking for. If you don't detach from the outcome, you are going to always notice that the outcome does not exist for you. So living in the end means that you are living in the, I'm trying to get the words. You're living in the fruition, if you understand what I mean. You're living in the reality of what you've asked for coming to fruition. So if you've asked for a car, when you live in the end, you're living in the end where you have received that car. You understand what I mean? And how do you live in the end? Well, for me, living in the end means visualizing what that looks like for you. It means being grateful for what you have now and for what the end looks like for you. It means scripting the end. And I would venture to say, if you script the end, you can visualize what you scripted. So get that in mind. Now, I'm not necessarily a big scripter, but I know that it is a good process because what you script, you can visualize, right? So I would tell you, and I'm telling myself this as well, don't neglect scripting, because it literally is a story that you're writing that you can actually use as your visualization. So don't neglect scripting. And actually, I think I'm going to script today about some things that I want to see come to fruition. So don't neglect the scripting part. And that is a huge, to me, especially when you're new to manifesting and people keep telling you to detach from it and let it go. Detach from it and let it go by scripting the end, visualizing the end, and being grateful. Those three things will help bring into fruition whatever it is that you're asking, believing, and being grateful for. So I just really wanted to get on here. This is going to be a really quick episode because I just, I read something, a question someone was asking about, what do I do to live in the end? Every time I try to manifest, it doesn't come because I am too focused on what happens or if it'll happen. And that is a huge deal, because when you're focused on that, you're lacking belief. You're basically saying, and like literally in a minute, if you don't see it happen right away, you're going to take that on yourself and try to figure out a way to bring to pass what it is that you're asking for. And at that moment, you've let the universe know that you got this, and the universe is going to back on off because you said, you got it. So, dude, you got it, So if you want the universe's help into bringing things to pass, you have to let the universe do the job that it's relegated to do. You cannot do his job. You can't. So for those of you who are having problems sticking to, living in the end and letting it go and detaching from it, start scripting. Start scripting. Every day, write down something that has to do with you living in the end of what it is that you're manifesting every day. Write what it feels like to have what it is that you've manifested. Write about the day that you have it, that it comes into fruition. Write about what you're going to do the next day with whatever it is that came into fruition. Write about circumstances that happen. It's kind of like when you draw a circle and you draw branches out of that circle. In the circle is you got what you manifested. Now each branch, write out what you did as a result of getting what you've manifested. That's your scripting. So you don't have to write the same thing over and over every day. Write a new instance every single day. But the main focal point is going to be around the fact that you've already received what it is that you are manifesting. And each day you're writing a new story that goes along with what it is that you've manifested. And by having all of these different stories that align with your manifestation, you take each story every night and you visualize it before you go to bed. And what you're doing is you're sending all of these messages from your conscious mind to your subconscious mind, telling your subconscious mind to get to work, because all of this is what it has to happen, because this is what you are creating, right? This is what you're creating. And that is how you go from being attached to the outcome to letting it go and living in the end. So I hope this has helped you in some way, somehow, to understand why people say detach and let it go, and the need to live in the end. I hope this has helped you in some way. Let me know what you guys think. Drop down in the comments. Let me know. Send me an email, 𝗦𝗢𝗖𝗓20@gmail.com. Join my group, Babes Who Manifest, on Facebook. Let's start a dialogue. Ask me some questions. Let's go. Let's get it. So thank you guys again for listening to me ramble about a subject that I love, love, love. I hope this has helped you, and thank you guys again so much for everything and for always listening to me. You guys have an awesome day, and don't forget to add gratitude as a daily practice in your life. I promise you, your life will change once you add the daily practice of gratitude. Have a blessed day. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Babes Who Manifest podcast. I am your host, 𝗦𝗢𝗖𝗓, aka The Gratitude Chick. Don't forget to follow us on our new YouTube page at The Gratitude Chick. Make sure to click in our description box for a good deal on starting your own dropshipping business with Shopify.